What's up, Goyam? I'm going over how I made $529 today trading the NASDAQ, the Dakistan. Oof, 529. There's the P&L, 769 profit. Wonderful. Whoops. Whoopsies. Okay, so going into open, I am leaning bullish. What would I want to see though? Ignore this fib. What I would ideally want to see is a tap into this unfilled 5, and then there's also an unfilled 15-minute right here. I would want to see it get tapped, respected, look for an inversion, an SMT, a liquidity sweep, um, before I would enter a trade. Um, so we open, fat candle. And we're just gonna keep going, 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 and boom! As soon as 10 a.m. opens, what am I looking for? I am looking for that tap in, right? I'm looking for the Ronaldo tap in, and so because of this, new 10 a.m. candle, it created an unfilled 1 hour. So right there, I am zooming on that one unfilled 1 hour. I'm like, boom, this is the high time frame condition that I need that is following my rules. I need that unfilled gap to get tapped. We need to look for a liquidity sweep. We need to look for an IFEG. Okay, cool. Now we also have our fib tool to really help us out to see whether the buyers are winning at equilibrium and to see whether OTE is getting respected or disrespected. If it gets disrespected, that means that we're inverting the 5 minute. That means that my bias is wrong and we need to look for shorts. However, if it holds this 5 minute, the 1 hour, taps into the unfilled 1 hour, sweeps, taps into the 5 minute, then we are getting a long opportunity out of, you know, the trade. So let's keep going. Oh, oh. So we get that sweep. We get that liquidity sweep. Okay. We get that sweep and we get that tap in to the golden fib, the golden OTE, however you want to call it. And so now I'm looking for a 1 minute IFEG, or I'm looking for a V-shaped recovery out of this, to invert this 3 minute gap that was now created and this 5 minute gap that was created. Um, because there still isn't that much confirmation. There obviously isn't a 1 minute IFEG, so we're gonna have to wait. Um, so price keeps chopping around, keeps chopping around. I'm looking, I'm looking, I'm looking. I believe it sweeps again. Yep, sweeps again, gets into the ultra premium. And here is where I was looking to enter. I was looking to enter right here off of this IFEG because, you know, if I'm bullish, that means that we are going to hold this gap, this 5 minute gap. So obviously it held, right? It tapped into the 1 hour gap again, respecting it. And now we have a clean liquidity sweep on both indexes. And we have a clean 1 minute IFEG. Now, right here, I gotta admit, I was a little bit of a pansy not entering right here. Why? Well, because although, yeah, it held on this 5 minute at the time, it just felt like it could have been an order block situation. Um, Looking on the 15, yeah, it's still holding. Um, and obviously, like the draw on liquidity at the time was higher, considering that we are in an uptrend, we are respecting bullish fair value gaps right now. But as I was zooming out to the 1 hour, the 4 hour, I just didn't expect this. Can't I mean you'll see later. This candle literally drops down all the way to here and then goes all the way back up, and so I just didn't expect that. So I was looking for the highest time frame inversion to then enter off my trade, just because of the possibility of maybe a retrace into a 5 minute and respect it again, maybe get an internal sweep and then you go lower. Um, but if you took the 1 minute inversion, honestly, shout out to you. You got big kahunas. Me, I just need to be more confident in myself. I just felt like, I don't know, I just felt like something could have reversed. Like it just wasn't looking, bullish at the time. Um, and when we had that open, I was like, when we had this open, I was like, dude, I'm just going to wait for a continuation long because it just normally on days where it just opens like that and completely pumps up, like it's just like normally it just keeps going and then to all time highs. Um, and so yeah, so I didn't expect it, and then you get like some change in order flow, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of scared, you know. But it plays out. Um, Nice V shape, 1 minute IFEG, lick sweep, tapping into the OTE of that range. So that's like beautiful RR if you wanted a bottom tick. and you just target, probably would have had a 200 point trading day. Yeah, 200 points. Insane. And let's see. Because I entered off of the 5 minute close. Yeah, so I entered 5 minute close. Um, and I entered and placed my limit basically around in the middle of this 1 minute IFEG. Literally got, ticked and then just no drawdown from there. Um, Completely, and then I go break even right here at this midpoint, and I bought three micros, and so I sold one to get my profits right here at these relatively equal highs, and then I sold one right here, and then I was targeting today the all-time highs, which just didn't reach, and so where this break-even point is where my last one got hit because that's where I just basically put my stop loss. It was at a swing low. You'll see it. I'll just go on the 5 minute because this was a very long hold trade. There was no economic news today. The only thing that was really moving the markets today was stuff with Iran, right? And that's just how it is. That's just how the markets have been playing out um, when there is no economic news. So you do have to be pretty wary. And so yeah, I placed my stop loss like right here at the swing low, and then it gets tagged. And profits is profits. Because had I just kept it right here, boom, could have just lost micro when it could have been in profits, right? Like look, that's a 60 point win still. So take your piece of the pie. You know, respect it, stay humble. And I put my stop. Put a pretty tight stop. Um, yeah, like just literally below this 5 minute because I knew like as soon as so the thing with the tricky thing with like 5 minute inversions, like I normally don't like taking them. However, if it is like a V-shape inversion like this, where like clearly this range wants to go higher, clearly there is a 5 minute intermediate high. There was a 15-minute intermediate high right here, so that's a huge draw on liquidity. Obviously, there's New York AM highs. So when you come out of 1 minute, 3 minute, 2 minute IFEG, and then now a V-shaped 5 minute IFEG, then I would enter, right? But there is sometimes where like you get a 5 minute IFEG and it's like a fake out. And that's only because like of certain things, obviously. It could be many factors. It could be, not a change in order flow. It could be not a liquidity sweep or an SMT below that 5 minute. It could be, um, what is it? Not V shape, right? Like if it's just like some chop slop, then it's just not. But yeah, I mean, my stop was I think like below here, um, like relatively. Let me see. I think it was like below this because it's like you do have so much bullish gaps. And then I just trailed it when it just kept getting chopped. Like when it chopped around here, I just trailed it just to minimize some loss if price were to reverse. Because at that time, I was like, bro, like no way we're just gonna edge this break even point, right? I mean, this was a long trade, guys. Like for 2 hours and 50 minutes, it hit take profit too, and then I was finally out at 4 hours, bro. I was out at 4 hours, bro. Dude, because as soon as it hit, because this was like a later trade, right? 10:30. That's 8:30 my time. Um, and so like, or no, that's 7:30. Yeah, 7:30 my time. And while it was in the trade, it was like it rejected off of this high, and I was like, oh brother, either we're gonna reverse or like just chop around because these motherfuckers are going out to lunch. So, but yeah, that's the trade recap. Hopefully you guys learned. Hopefully you guys, won and stayed patient, especially off of that, um, you know, creation of the 1 hour. Right. What's been helping me a lot is literally is getting trades into unfilled 1 hours and 4 hours, whether it is long or short. What I've noticed is like a tap into a 1 hour, unfilled 1 hour, and a tap into an unfilled 4 hour, that usually has a higher likelihood of a reversal. Um, Especially if you get like a liquidity sweep in that, right? How there was that liquidity sweep of the New York AM low, tapping in and respecting that 5 minute and 1 hour. Therefore, next inversion, you should take an entry and target the intermediate 15 minute. Today, I just wanted to hold and see if we could break all-time highs. That's why I just held the trade for so long. And that's why I didn't really, care to have that other last micro, not reach take profit. Like it is what it is. Like profits are profits. So, but hopefully you guys learned and won today. Remember, keep God first and foremost, especially on days like this where you might be in trades for 4 hours, right? Oftentimes I was looking at my phone. I was only really like checking my phone a lot just to see like whether we would just pump and then I need to replace the because I was taking partials because to replace the stop. But just never really be on your phone or just like always be looking at the charts while you're in a long trade like that, especially when you're targeting such a high um, point in liquidity. So you just don't become a slave to the charts. And what was helping me a lot was if God allows it. If God allows it, God allows it. So God bless you all. I love you all.